to monitor your digital footprint, I've given you a number of different choices. The other one that you might want to take a look at is a free service called Google Alerts. Anybody using Google Alerts already? A number of you are. That's excellent. And the Google Alert service is a free service. And you can put in whatever phrase you want to keep an eye on. So in this example, I'm going to put in the name of my company. And what it will then do is it'll send me once a week an email containing all links to all the web pages where anybody has mentioned my company. So this is what's called a digital news clipping service. And it will let me know where has anybody mentioned me. Why have I put Hallam Communications in inverted commas? Because that turns it into a phrase, doesn't it? So that means by putting it, somebody has to type in Hallam Communications. That means I will not find out if somebody mentioned Sheffield Hallam University or Radio Hallam, or did you know that Hallam's I would like to say that Hallam is a very common name. My husband, however, tells me that that's incorrect. It's popular. So we need to put it in inverted commas, and that will then get just what it is that we're looking for. This is a free service called Google Alerts. It will help you to monitor your digital reputation to see, are anybody saying things about me? Where are links starting to appear? Okay? So that's another, so a list there of different kinds of tools that you can use to monitor your digital footprint. So that's step one. In marketing, this is called a situation analysis. What's the situation? Who's talking about me? What's going on? Step two. What I need you now to do is to decide, why am I going to use social media? Are you trying to drive visitors to your website? Are you trying to make sales? Are you trying to engage more with your customers? So if any of you are in business to consumer markets, the more you can engage and talk to your customers and make them feel part of your, in internet marketing, I would call it your tribe. You're all my friends. The more that your customers think that you are friends, the more ching-ching money they will give to you. So are you looking to engage with your customers? Are you looking to build the profile of your business? And depending on what your business requirements are, the most appropriate social media tool will become apparent to you. So you need to figure out, I think a lot of people are using social media because everybody else is. And you don't have any idea. How many of you tweet and you don't know why you're doing it? Tell the truth. I know a lot of companies are tweeting and they don't even know why they're doing it. They made a Facebook, they don't know why they're doing it. They just feel like they're going to do it or they're going to get left behind. That is a stupid reason to do it. You're better off not. Can I give you my personal opinion? Don't use social media until you fix the things we talked about first this morning. Does that make sense? Fix your website. Do your search engine optimization, and then think about doing the next phase of the business, unless you are able to identify very clear success criteria as to why you're doing it. And for some of you, you may find that there's a very good reason to do it, and then of course you're going to run with it. So you're going to figure out why you're going to do it, whether it's going to be sales, customer service, reducing your costs. And then what we then need to figure out is what tools are your Pete's using. So remember my guy Pete? I know for a fact that my Pete likes to use LinkedIn. So almost all of my customers are on LinkedIn. And I also know that my Pete's like to read blogs. However, Pete doesn't know that it's a blog. What does he think it is? He just thinks it's just a web page. You know what I mean? He just thinks he doesn't realize it's a blog. He just thinks it's an article on my website that he likes to read. So you need to think about, what do your customers like to use? For instance, you may also find, do we have anybody here in the accommodation or travel industries, hospitality? What kind of sites do your customers like to use? Review sites. They like the dreaded TripAdvisor, don't they? They like to read reviews, yes?
Last time I came, we had the drawback TripAdvisor that they wouldn't let me on. They turned it down for a third year running because if I change to bed and breakfast, I'm not bed and breakfast, I'm something ready. But they referred me to their sister site as a Flipkey that I would use for.
But Flipkey, okay, so I'll speak to you separately, but Flipkey properties appear on TripAdvisor. Okay, so anyway, so there are issues with TripAdvisor that do present difficulties to all of our businesses, but I think with Flipkey you should be okay. So you might want to think about, and again, Google has done some research with what are called C-suite, and by C-suite we mean the letter C, and that stands for corporate. And we know that the C-suite executives like video. C-suite executives, managing directors, financial directors, chief operating officers, these directors like to watch video. And that, I think, might feel counterintuitive to me, but when I ask Pete would like to watch the video. He likes to watch how stuff works. He likes to see people tell him stories, and he doesn't want to have to read it.
Is there an indication of how long those videos should be?
Yeah, the question is, how long should a video be? And the answer is as short as you can make it. And we know from YouTube research that people will look at less than 1 minute of content and then they hang up. Absolutely. So people do not, you will find that the shorter you can keep the message, and what you certainly need to do is front load the message, the video, with the important messages. So in case they do bomb out after 1 minute of your 3-minute video, at least they've seen the important stuff. So I think, again, I think this is bringing us back to what I would call internet attention deficit disorder. And that means we find it really hard to concentrate. The book, did I mention to you I'm going on holiday? Bye. The book I'm taking on holiday is a very interesting book called The Shallows. And it's a book about how the internet is changing the way we think, and how it changes the way we think and we read. And how many of you, do any of you have children, like teenage children like I do? Mm-hmm. Do they read anything? No. What are they doing? They're flitting around all the time, taking bits of information. This is actually changing the way we think. So this is something, again, that gives you a little summer reading for you, doesn't it? So what you need to do is to figure out, and again, so we are rebuilding our website, and one of the things that we're adding is video, because we know that's what our customers want, as much as I hate it. Sorry. Yeah, that's great. So thinking about these kind of social media tools. So then, what we now need to think about with social media, you need to go do some homework. And I can't do this in a 20-minute workshop. You need to go and explore what are the tools, how can they be used, what are their advantages, what are their disadvantages. And I do know that Business Link has previously run social media marketing workshops, and it may be that they organize something again in due course. But the reality check is, if you're going to use social media, are you willing to let other people join in the conversation? Are you willing to let them say things that maybe you don't like and you don't agree with, but you have to let them say it? Are you willing to deal with the messiness that arises out of people writing comments on your blog, even if you don't like the comments? Because the point about using social media is that you have to let go of the control. And I think for small businesses, this is a big problem. You guys want to control the content that goes on your site. You want to control what people say. And social media is, to be frank, out of control. People can kind of do whatever they want. However, so it is good, and the reason I love social media is if you love your product and you love your service and you're proud of what you do, it gives you a chance to talk about what you do. Give examples of what you're doing, talk about things that you find are interesting, and this, of course, is great from our customers. Why, in terms of sharing, why do I write a blog giving away search engine optimization secrets? Why do I give the information away if this is what my company actually does? Why do I write that free blog? And that's because what we want to do is position ourselves as experts in what we do. And we give the information away for free because we're trying to build trust. And if we can demonstrate to you that we are really good at what we do to the point that I can tell you all of this, and to be frank, I still know more than you do. Does that make sense? So that might be for some of you the kind of positioning you might want to be looking at, sharing information, sharing your expertise, positioning yourself as an expert and a leader in your field. Huge advantage for small businesses. Huge, huge advantage. Something for you to think about. Okay? However, you don't want to be using these kind of technologies, for example, if your audience is not using the internet particularly very much. Although some of you guys say, my target market is older people and they don't use the internet. Is that true? Do older people? One of the exactly. There is a phenomenon called silver surfers, and they are one of the largest and most profitable segments on the internet. And in terms of social networking, have any of you guys heard of Saga? There is on the internet Saga Zone. And Saga Zone is the social networking club for the wrinklies. Yep, have to be careful what I say over 50. Does that make sense? So there are these communities that are there waiting for you. So don't assume that your market is not using these technologies. Because my mom and my dad, heaven help them, are both now on Facebook. And they love it. So these are the kind of things for you to be thinking about. But the other thing is, you're going to want to forget it if you don't have the time to be writing the content, writing the comments, asking the questions, answering questions, and the like. So you need to have a little bit of a plan for what we want to be doing with social media. So you can't do it all. You do need a plan of action to decide what it is that you want to do. What you need to think about is, what can you get done? If you're going to use social media, it generally means you're going to have to stop doing something else. So what else are you going to stop doing that you're going to give the half an hour a day that you're going to do this instead? And if you're going to do it, you need to think about, what am I going to do? I am going to write a blog article twice a week. So that's our company plan. We write 2 blog articles a week. That's what I'm going to do. What do I hope you are going to do? I hope you're going to read it. What do I really hope you're going to do? Give me your money. I'm going to hope that I'm going to get inquiries from it, or I hope that you're going to comment on the blog as well. So I'm hoping I'm going to get reading and engagement. I hope I'm going to be raising the profile of the business. And thinking John and Ann go to Panama, did you see that our blog articles rank well in the Google search engine results? So we use our blog to improve our rankings in Google. That is our main strategy for the blog. Great, okay. Now the other thing I just wanted to mention to you briefly is that when you go to Google, Google has changed a bit recently, hasn't it? Oops, that's all caps, but I'll get rid of that. If I were to put in my name, can you see that Google brings up my website? But can you see as well that in terms of social media, Google now does bring up images? Do any of you, as part of your social strategy, want to have pictures of your company or your products appearing in the Google search results? So some of you, sharing pictures is a social strategy. So image optimization might be something that you might want to think about. Can you see it brings up the website? And can you see that, what does it bring up? It brings up my blog. So Google knows that Susan-Hallam is writing a blog. As we scroll down the results, can you see that Google knows that I'm on Twitter? So Google will bring up my Twitter account. So Google is assuming that business people are probably using these technologies. So we'll bring up my Twitter account, and as I scroll down, we'll see what else it's going to bring up. So that's all it brought up, but sometimes it would bring up my Facebook page, so oftentimes it would bring in my LinkedIn profile, but Google is finding these kind of social networking sites very important in the search results.